Dolphins are 2-0. Canes are 3-0. The Marlins are a playoff team. South Florida's miracle sports run continues. And I would tell you, in years past, the Patriots win that game last night.
Mm-hmm.
In years past, that Gesicki lateral would have gone for a first down. It never would have gotten overturned. Would have gone for a first down. The Pats would throw a touchdown on the very next play. They would go deep, throw a touchdown. They would score. And then Bill Belichick would go for 2 because that's what he would do against the Dolphins back in the day. They'd hit the 2-point conversion, and then Tua would throw an interception on his first drive, coming back, and it would be over. But that's not what happened. I have to tell you that Gesicki lateral was genius. It was genius. That's great game awareness by him.
Yes.
It was the right call. I don't know if Boston radio is, apoplectic over overturning it. It was the right call. I didn't think he made it in real time, let alone in the replay. But that's a game that they end up losing a lot, and they won. And it tells you something about this team. This team's a good team. I don't know if you saw Pat McAfee on ESPN today. He said flat out, if you have to play the Super Bowl on Wednesday, it is the Cowboys versus the Dolphins. Those are the cream of the crop when it comes to the AFC and the NFC. And it was another dub by our Dolphins. I feel good.
Oh no, and the beauty of it is everybody was saying, because after the week 1 Tyreek performance, 215, 2 touchdowns, like what is he going to do? We talked about it last week. I knew Bill Belichick is not going to let Tyreek Hill beat him because that's what he does. He takes your best player away. So what do? Oh, he left 2 safeties deep. Okay, then Raheem Mostert's going to run the ball straight down your throat whenever he wants to, coming off of an injury. Like it was beautiful of how Mike McDaniel is getting me to love him more and more. He knows what they're going to do. He knows the adjustments. We did this. You're going to do this. I'm going to already have a plan for whatever you adjust to. And that's why the running game was so successful. Mike McDaniel is a hell of a coach, Hawk.
He is a hell of a coach. He's very well liked. And
the racing the cameraman. Come on.
It's adorable. It is absolutely adorable. I am the only Dolphins fan on the planet who was cursing Raheem Mostert when he broke that touchdown run. And let me tell you why. This is how gambling ruins sports. I had 2 units on the Dolphins. If you super follow me, I doubled my normal bet. So I had 2 units on the Dolphins minus 2.5. I felt great, and we cashed that ticket. I also had, as I bet in week 1, Tua over on completions. The over was 21.5. When Raheem Mostert broke that run, Tua was at 21 completions. Yep. Tua was at 21 completions in the 3rd quarter. And the only thing that would have prevented him from hitting 22 completions was a long run by Raheem Mostert there, because they were dinking and dunking. They were making the New England secondary come up, and I am cursing. Trip! Run out of bounds, because I knew there was going to be no scenario where he'd have to throw after that. And then, they come out with 20 seconds left. And I'm like, if this guy, McDaniel, has any balls, we'll throw it. But yeah, that Mostert run cost me some money. It cost me another ticket.
And then his wife couldn't get on the flight. Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah. So was that after? That was after she was trying to fly home with the kids, and she got bumped off the flight. They bumped Mostert's wife right off the flight.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, he posted that after the game. He tagged American Airlines and said, "I guess we're taking the only people off the flight is a mother with 3 kids."
Yeah. Whose husband happened to score a huge touchdown and run roughshod all over that Patriots defense.
Can you get bumped? Is it the last person that buys the ticket? What's the bump policy? Because I've never been bumped.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If you see that, though, a mother getting not kicked off, but taken off a flight with kids, would you ever offer, hey, they can have my seat?
No.
We'll get off.
No, they could sit on my lap.
No.
We could all fly together. I'm not getting off.
No.
Yeah.
I can't do that. It'd be nice if someone else did. Hey, it can't be me, though.
Right.
They offer, though. I know y'all got those emails when they're like, hey, we'll offer you $500.
No. Solana was saying just volunteering for the hell of it. You're telling me you're going to make me an offer? Oh, I'll negotiate all day. I'm Sandler in Uncut Gems. Let's make a deal here, Damani.
How much? Because I've been offered a grand.
Depends if
I got
have
offered
to get
a grand
somewhere or not. Depends if I have to get somewhere or not.
I was leaving, I think, Vegas, and the email offered me a grand to not get on the flight, and I couldn't take it.
It depends, where am I at the airport already? So do I have to get somewhere? Do I have to find accommodations? Is it a flight later that day? Do I need to be in? Like, there's a whole bunch of context involved in it. But yeah, if I can get myself a good offer, yeah, I think I would do that.
You email them back, 1,700.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm certainly not taking the first offer. I guarantee you I'm not taking the first offer.
You're not negotiating with you. Like, what do you think this is? An auction?
Do they want my seat or no?
Solana, I'm with Hawk. There's no chance. If you offer me a grand, I know you go to 12.
I mean, you're telling me, wait a second, I own this seat. They want it. They're going to make me one offer. I either take it or I don't. Yeah, no, thanks. That's not how it works.
Offer me 1,000 and first class on the next flight.
That's what you'll take, Jimmy?
All right, 1,000 and first class on the next flight.
Yeah.
I thought we were role playing. I thought that's what you said. I thought we were role playing, and then you just mumbled, "Yeah," but you said it so softly. I've already given it to someone else. I'm sorry, sir. You're gonna have to remain in 37B.
How could you?
And funny because B's always a middle. B's a middle. Yeah,
always.
There's no chance.
Jimmy wasn't aware that there are other seats that don't end in B.
I'm a B guy. Huh?
We have a lot to talk about today, obviously, with the Dolphins. I think Dolphins Nation is feeling pretty good, even though it got a little dicey at the end. It probably should have felt better at the end last night than it did, but it got a little bit dicey, but they come out of there with the dub, and now they're home. So 2 road wins to start the season. Tua has looked fine. The offensive line has looked fine. Yeah. You haven't even missed Teron Armstead, which is such a blessing. The running back, Raheem Mostert, like, get out of here with the Dalvin Cook and even the Jonathan Taylor stuff. How could they have been better with the run game yesterday?
They couldn't have.
You know what I mean, Solana? Like, would they have been better? Would it be worth earmarking millions of dollars for Jonathan Taylor after what you saw last night? Because how could they have been better?
No, they made the right decision. And I was critical of it, right? Because we all talked about how can they take this roster to that next level, to Super Bowl contender level. And we kind of all agreed it's either Dalvin Cook or it's either Jonathan Taylor. Well, guess what? Dalvin Cook fumbled yesterday, cost the Jets, even though they were going to lose that game anyways. Yeah. He hasn't looked great. And Jonathan Taylor's sitting on the PUP list right now, not playing. So who knows, really, after an offseason of not even being at training camp, they made the right decision as of now, week 2.
But no, they put a value on their roster. The people talk about roster construction. You can see we're a part of a lot of talks with other teams. They put a value. They put a number. We have $180 million, whatever it is. We need to do this, and this. We're not paying the running back $8.5 million. We're not going to do it. You can see the numbers of the running backs we have now. They're not going to pay that guy, and that's called roster construction. Raheem can do it. Jeff Wilson's going to come back sooner or later from this damn finger, whatever the hell's going on with him. We drafted a guy in A-Chain. Salvin Ahmed, he's no Dalvin Cook. He's fine. That's not where it is. If you send 2 safeties deep to stop these speedsters, we can run the ball down your throat with what we have. And it's what they did. It was, bro, I was sitting there. I wish I could kiss Mike McDaniel after that game. After he broke that last one that Hawk was wishing he didn't break, I wish I could kiss him and say, listen, you are playing the game of football like it's supposed to be played. X and O's, schemes, utilizing players. It's beautiful. And they took the foot off the gas late, too. The
That's
late
part
scoring.
of what I think it was. I didn't even understand him going for the field goal, to be quite honest. That was so out of character for Mike McDaniel. I understand going for a field goal in that situation when you're 26 out of the other teams. Mike McDaniel, either you go for it, which he does in scenarios that are much tougher than that. You go for it, or you could even punt in that situation and pin them behind the 10. They weren't exactly moving the ball well. I did not understand going for that field goal. I thought that was out of character, and I wonder if given a mulligan, he would do that one over.
I'm up too. I'm up. I'm the talk of the league right now. Like you're saying, Pat McAfee just said, he was like, if we have to pick the AFC team that's the best, the Dolphins are one of the best. You can argue with different people. Why would you do that? I think it's, to your point, Hawk, I agree with you. I don't know if you've been on top until you've been on top. And I think Mike McDaniel's now on top, and now he's looking like, oh, okay. No, do what got you here. I say it all the time. Dance with your date. You took Lucille to the prom? Dance with Lucille. Don't start looking at Gina. Dance with Lucille, Mike. The reason you're a head coach in the NFL is being aggressive and doing what you do. That's Lucille. I want you to dance with Lucille.
And take Jason Sanders' ticket to the dance away. Totally. I don't want him in the damn building anymore. I'm not even kidding. Let's Madden this bitch. Go for it on 4th and 33 if we have to. Enough with Jason Sanders. Like 2020, he was a Pro Bowler, all-pro kicker. He's been butt since.
Solana, you can't give up on your kicker. You need to sign a kicker. You have to sign a kicker, but you can't make a decision off if you think your kicker can make kicks. If you don't think he can make it, he does not need to be on the roster.
He was okay at the end of last season. I know a lot of people throughout the season, they were at their wits' end with Jason Sanders. And then at the end of the season, he hit some field goals that he needed to hit. I thought Mike McDaniel put him in a bad spot yesterday because that's not an easy field goal for him. We've seen that. Like, he's not great at 50 plus. So I don't know. I don't know why Mike McDaniel made that decision. I really don't.
But Hawk, you're a playoff team. You have serious aspirations this year. At some point, your kicker's going to have to make a 50-yarder at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has they put it up yesterday. Since 2021, he has the worst success rate on 50-yard attempts. He was 4 of 12 prior to yesterday's miss. I mean, that has to count for something. Like, he is not trustworthy on field goals.
The only thing that I would suggest to you is if you're going to run the team the way Mike McDaniel showed you last season and even in game 1 this season, the way that he's going to run a team, it's not as paramount to have a great kicker from 50 plus as it is for other teams that are not as aggressive. That's why I thought it was such a weird call yesterday. Like, he kind of told, it's kind of like with the running backs. Like, Mike McDaniel has kind of shown you, hey, if we're not in chip shot range, we're pretty much going for it. Even if we're in our own territory in certain situations, we're pretty much going for it. I just thought it was wildly out of character. I thought it was out of character for him. I thought it put Jason Sanders in a tough spot. And then it put the defense in a tough spot.
As he did week 1 when they went for it late in the game. Right there, the 50. They went for it. But I see what you're saying, Hawk. The identity. What's your identity as a coach? And we believe we know Mike McDaniel's identity. There's 3 situations if you're going to win a damn Super Bowl. You're going to have 1:20 left on the clock. You're going to have to stop somebody. We just saw the Dolphin defense stop the Chargers in the same situation. There's going to be 1:20 on the clock. You're going to have to go score a touchdown. I believe in Tua and McDaniel do that. But, Hawk, there's going to be 8 seconds left. You're going to get to the 40, and you're going to have a kicker that can kick a 50-plus yard field goal. If Jason Sanders can't do it, your roster, we just talked about it, your roster is not constructed right if your kicker can't kick a 50-plus yard field goal.
I'm not defending Jason Sanders, by the way. I'm just kind of pointing out that particular situation had me scratching my head because I would have guessed McDaniel, the guy calling timeout so that he could have 12 seconds left on the clock in week 1, like the guy who's always like, not many coaches would do this, but I'll show you why. I would have had him punting in that situation before I would have had him kicking a field goal. And punting would have been out of character for him. But that's how far down on the on the list I had kicking a field goal there, especially because, like Solana said, he's not very good from 50 plus. So you know you're going to hand them the ball right there. Interesting. Anyway, let's do real quick headlines because Josh Appel is going to join us. I want to talk some NFL with him. We have a lot to get through this afternoon.
We do have to, at some point, get Crowder's thoughts on that blocked field goal technique from the Patriots, because that was one of the coolest, most badass things I've ever seen in the
Nobody
NFL.
had seen it. Nobody had seen it. You got to give Bill Belichick props because they're, he went into the lab that week and said, there's got to be something like, and they thought maybe it would be a situation where, Miami's kicking a game-winning field goal or something. So they had that, and they decided to bring it out and use it. No one's seen it. I applaud him. That was clever.
It was Belichick's Wildcat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. Yeah, I got
He's
you.
like, I want to create something that's never been seen before that's going to shock the other team. It shocked everyone.
And we're going to see it 33 times next week, right?
From other teams.
Every team is going to implement this.
Yeah.
This sports update driven by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford. We know trucks. Dolphins. A little ugly towards the end, but they end up 2-0. First place in the AFC East. A win on the road against New England in Foxborough. Your only trip there this season, unless you play them in the playoffs. But come on, let's be real. And Miami will host 0-2 Denver on Sunday, their home opener.
Yeah. Dolphins right now are 7-point favorites over the Broncos. They opened at 6.5-point favorites.
The Marlins deserve our attention. They swept the Atlanta Braves. First time they sweep Atlanta. Appel can correct me in the next segment, but I believe since 2015, they put a 16 spot on Atlanta yesterday. Jazz Chisholm hit 2 grand slams in less than 24 hours in separate games. The Marlins needed to really put together some wins here, and they did it against the best team in baseball, 3 straight. And now they'll get to do it against the Mets. They open up a 3-game set tonight. 6:40 p.m. is your first pitch.
I thought my Instagram was wrong when I saw that they swept them because Atlanta is a monster team.
When you sweep the best team in baseball, you immediately become the best team in baseball, right? Isn't that like you have to refer to them as the best team in baseball?
I don't know if that. I don't know if that's how it works.
It's not a distributive property.
I don't know if that's distributive property either.
It's not. It's not.
That was impressive.
A lesser co-host would have agreed.
That was impressive, bro. I swear to God. I was
there is some sort of property involved there, but I don't know. It might be the Property Brothers. I don't know.
Transitive.
Transitive property. You are correct. It's transitive property. Well done.
Do you know what the Pythagorean theorem is? Like, do you know what that is?
You have tried to get the Pythagorean theorem in a show for 5 years now.
It must be the only thing that you remember from school. Do you know the Pythagorean theorem?
I don't, but my geometry teacher was so fine in 10th grade, and I remember her teaching the Pythagorean theorem, and I wanted to... I just remember it. Let's just put it that way.
The Pythagorean
I wanted a Pythagorean theorem heard, yeah.
The
Miami.
Pythagorean theorem, has it been solved, or is this like something that people have been waiting to get solved?
Jimmy?
I got nothing.
Right, because like a theorem would be, hey, this is what we think is what it is, and then someone would have to prove the theorem.
I believe it's been solved, Talk. I believe.
Do you know what it is?
No, I don't know. A triangle or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's like a parallelogram.
It's a parallelogram.
What is a parallelogram? Does anybody know what's a rectangle, but it's kind of with diagonal lines?
Rhombus.
No, that's the thing that cleans your floor. Oh, that's a Roomba. My bad. My parallelogram is a 4-sided plane rectilinear figure with opposite sides parallel? I knew that.
The Pythagorean theorem, named after the Greek philosopher Pythagoras, born 570 BC. The theorem has been proved numerous times by many different methods, possibly the most for any mathematical theorem. The proofs are diverse, including both geometric proofs and algebraic proofs, with some dating back thousands of years.
All right.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. Which goes back to my theorem about the Marlins beating the Braves. If A happens and B is squared, you're the best team in baseball. No. All right. Anything else, Solana? Because we got to get to a pal. Oh, my poor math professors.
Oh, they're probably listening too, Hawk. You went to UM. They're so mad.
Oh, these poor people.
Mr. Artie, if you're listening, at Alex M. Solana, hit me up.